So Lesnar with the gold, 2014. Do you see it happening?
No.
Why?
I see, because he can only show up like 5 times a year. That's why. I think he's just the obstacle for Elimination Chamber. I'm guessing he's going to headline Elimination Chamber in the title match, and that's whoever, which to me seems like, I guess, John Cena might be winning the title, because I don't really see Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar because they're both heels right now. He wants a title shot. I think it's merely going to be a title shot. I mean, does the guy have enough appearances in his contract to be champion? I mean, he's going to show up less than The Rock, if you can even imagine that.
I was about to hit that point. Like, The Rock was champion a year ago, almost like exactly, and when he had the belt, he would only show up every 2 or 3 weeks, if that. So it's not like they're afraid to give it to a guy that won't be on the show every week, so they could give it to Brock at Elimination Chamber, have him be the champion going into WrestleMania, and he's the title match.
Well, there's a really big difference now. See, a year ago, we still had 2 championships. Now, I'm not saying that Brock should be champion or not. I really don't. I don't think it's going to happen, so I agree with you, Ryan. But I would almost argue that it would be kind of cool to have this champion that's not on every week. Why? Because it raises your desire to be that guy who doesn't even show up on the show, that guy whose ass you want to kick, because now he's the only real champion.
Yeah.
Now you don't have the World Heavyweight Championship to sort of feed off of.
Now, obviously, I didn't really grow up in this era at all, but that's almost would be like an old school mentality, because I think around the time Hogan in the 80s was champion, he wasn't really on TV. You had to pay to see the champion, and that's sort of like an old school mentality. I don't know if that really works nowadays, because we've been spoiled for, decades of, weekly TV, and you see the champion and everything. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I don't think it's really good for the brand to not have your champion on at least a majority of the shows. I mean, sure, they might spike a rating. If they want to give it to him for a night, maybe, he wins it at the pay-per-view, loses it on Raw, but just to, get some buzz going. But I really don't think he's very limited with his appearances. The Rock was a little more flexible, I think. So this is even less flexible than what they have with The Rock.
But do you guys think that giving Brock a title run was some sort of bargaining chip in the whole Brock might go back to UFC thing that's been in the news lately?
I don't think so. That was apparently, according to the, ever lovable dirt sheets, that it was just all a publicity stunt, basically, because there was an interview I watched with Paul Heyman, and he basically said that Brock, after his sickness or whatever, I forget what he had, but
where he went down with the sickness.
Oh my god!
Yes, Keith.
Yes. According, he can't do UFC anymore. He's not healthy enough to do it, or something like that. After what he went through, he can't do UFC anymore, but he can do wrestling fine. So it always reminded me of that. He did an interview. I want to say it might have been, if you want to look it up, anyone who's interested, I think it was with Sam Roberts it was just before WrestleMania with Paul Heyman. I think his channel is Not Sam. It's either that or it was Peter Rosenberg, but I'm pretty sure it was Sam Roberts.
Well, it could still be a bargaining chip, because one thing we're completely, and even though none of us are the ones that can fully answer this question, we don't know for how long that contract was. We don't know if they've renegotiated. We have no idea what's going on. The WWE Network is debuting this year, so who knows what's on the table right now. We're seeing all these guys coming back. I would love if we at least got Brock twice a month, so on a Raw and on a pay-per-view. His matches are top-notch whenever he's not talking. I don't think he should be champion, but I definitely think he should just be about to become champion. So I think that Batista feud that we talked about earlier would be just the best possible option for Brock Lesnar. Hey, if you like this clip, you can check out full shows over at Bytethat.com, as well as iTunes and Stitcher by searching Bytethat. Also, send us questions through Twitter at ByteThatCast or email bytethatcast@gmail.com.